Welcome back to another episode of Stay Healthy. Today is actually hate day. We're actually doing a little bit before because spring break's next week, and we'll kind of figure out what we're both doing for spring break. But this guest, he is part of the track and field team. He is a thrower. He is from Iowa. He placed third in conference 2023, and he was a national qualifier for outdoor. And then he was an All-American or All-Conference 2 times. First in 2024 for indoor, and then third in 2023 outdoor, like we kind of said earlier. And he actually was an All-American this year for 2024 indoor. He was the 7th in the nation with a 16.65 meters throw. That is 54 feet, 7.5 inches. That's kind of a toss.
Yeah, a little launch.
And he is second all-time for shot put for indoor in Grandview history. Am I missing? Oh, this is Blake Willey.
Yes, that's all I'll say is my PR was at the conference meet, and then at nationals I threw 16.43, which is like 53 foot 8 inches. So that was, improvement wise, definitely some chucks for sure.
What was the coolest experience you met at nationals this year? Because the top thrower almost scratched out. Yeah, and then his last throw, I was like, wow.
Yep. So his he actually only had one throw that would have put him in the top, like in finals at all, and it was his winning throw. Yeah, he went foul, the winning throw, which was like 17-20 or something, and then
it looks like he barely threw it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then his 3 throws of the finals, I think one was like a 15 something. It was like 15.98, 15.98, and a scratch, like. Just it wasn't that good of a showing for him, but his name's Jacob. He was cool, just not his day for throwing, but he was able to pull one out of his ass sorry.
It's fine. It's after a minute.
Okay, cool. Was able to get one out there, and across the board, it was a lot of fun with all the athletes. And if I were to say like one thing, like really remember, I would say there's 2 things that were. One thing that I remember just because it was entertaining, and the other one just because it was a really cool experience. The funny thing was they actually do a like athlete event thing every year, and this was my first time going to indoor. And this year they did he was like not exactly just a hypnotist, but he was like a mental guy, and he did a bunch of these crazy mind experiment things. It was really cool. Had some people get hypnotized and stuff. But then at the meet itself, so I was in the 3rd flight of 3, 4 shot put, and the guys who were competing, one of them, while we were warming up, we all meet in a little huddle before and like talk to the official, and he'll be like, oh yeah, this is like rules, whatever. And this one guy, he's in the back and he goes, so can we like all get together and pray before we compete? And we're all like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. And he was like, do you guys want to do that now or before, like, after you're done warming up? And of course that kid was like, oh yeah, let's do it right now. And then we're all like, well, no, because the time keeps running after our huddle. So we're like, no, we'd still like to keep throwing, please. And the guy was like, okay. So then we finally did, and I actually got some pictures from my coach who was standing behind us. I didn't know she did until after. But yeah, getting to be there in general, and then sharing that moment with those guys and competing the way I did, it was so cool.
Because I watched the live stream on Instagram.
Yes, on GVU Men's Throws.
Yeah,
go follow him if you're not.
And the coolest thing was, as soon as you guys got in the huddle and the official went away, you guys stayed in a little bit of the huddle and you guys practiced throwing. You got back in the huddle, and then you guys bowed your heads. And I can't remember who was on the MC was like, oh, I think they're praying right now.
Oh yeah, Nathan. Yeah, that'd be Wildy. He's another one of our throwers. He's a primary weight guy. Oh yeah, and in case you didn't know, when Hunter was talking about my all my stuff that I've been in for conference, whatever, for the majority, it's all been shot. That's definitely my main event. But yeah, Nathan's for sure a hammer weight guy. So that's what he was there for weight and was nice enough to record and live stream while I was throwing.
Funny names. Names. What was the first live stream? Blake,
oh gosh.
The first one is like Blake throws balls.
Yeah, he was coming up with a bunch. I'm sitting there like about to start warming up. He's like, what should I name it? Should I name it like Blake loves fielding balls, like tossing balls. I'm like, go for whatever you want, just no profanity, please.
And then the final was Pookie in finals.
Yes, and he actually, if you guys would go look at the GVU Men's Throws, he actually captioned the post that he did afterwards. I'll pull it up, but it was about Pookie. He called me. Here, I'll pull it up real quick.
While you're looking for it, I think that was the coolest thing was watching on the live and stream, like how everyone was getting hyped. The people that watched you on the field, just watching you get hyped after the certain throws, and then how they're like, wow, like someone from Waldorf just popped off from nowhere. They're like,
Wade.
Wow.
Yeah, Wade's really cool. He's another guy who's an upperclassman, and he actually coming into nationals. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming his practice has been good and like that he's thrown farther than he had in meet, but his PR coming into that meet I think was like 16-20. Like he came in ranked at like 15th or 14th, like the bottom of third flight. And yeah, when he popped that off, like right away, I was so hyped for him. He's a cool guy. Oh, I did find the post. So it's captioned Pookie's bringing home hardware with like the like blushing face with hearts around it. So that's it. Yeah, we have a lot of fun as a team, but then I love the atmosphere that you create with the other athletes at track events. Like obviously we'll have some who are very, very stern and serious and try to like keep their head down, but like when you make it fun and bring up the energy for everyone, I mean, everyone's going to throw better. At least that's how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. Because like just watching and like how you guys got close, and then like looking at the post, I was like, wow, like these guys have a special bond. Because like how long have you guys been together? Like I want to say the upper class, because obviously freshmen.
Are you talking about like me and the other athletes at nationals?
No. Like Nathan, Caden, and all. How long have you guys? Because you're living with Caden, right?
Yep. Yeah, Cade. So Caden is he's a primary discus guy, but he also likes weight, which now he'll be done with that because he's also a. So I'm a junior who's graduating this year as a quote-unquote senior, and so is Caden. And
they're just smart.
Yeah, right?
I'm here for 5 years. I'm still finishing.
Well, it's more so just figuring out how to get the classes lined up to get out of here when I can. But yeah, so, I mean, he's one who, I mean, yeah, so I'm rooming with him. And we've all, so Caden and I both came here as freshmen 2 years ago, it would have been. And I mean, we came in with one other male thrower. His name was Justice. He's now at UNI for javelin,
and he's doing great over there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so happy for him. And us three, like, I mean, our throws team kind of was smaller than it had been in the past, but all of us got really close with our upperclassmen who were at the time Niall Siefkin, Zach Stacy, and Dylan Williams, who are all guys who. I mean, they had been here during COVID and kind of been messed up in that way. So we actually ended up having two of them stay an extra year. So that was cool. But yeah, so it's, I mean, you definitely over time get really close with your guys. And even Nathan coming last year and then into this year, I mean, we all hang out, spend a lot of time together. I mean, you're together every day for practice. And then on top of that, you have your time you hang out and meals, whatever, study.
Because you guys have study tables, right? Or
no? Nope.
Okay. Study tables here is like you sit there. We have a place called the Wellness Center, and that's where basketball, wrestling, and volleyball play at. And then there's tables outside of it, and that's what we call study tables because you just go to your coach's office, sign your name, and then just sit there for an hour until your homework's done, and then sign your name out.
Yeah, no, most teams do have that, but for track, it's a little different. I think you do, but like you have to do study table. I think just your freshman year. Unless you come in with a certain like GPA, and then he's kind of like, don't really have to worry about it. But other than that, yeah, no, we do. Yeah, you just kind of spend a lot of time with the guys who you're practicing with. So it makes it pretty easy to get close and work together.
Just in general, like I sit with, I'm a bowler. I'm a retired bowler now. I'm done bowling. I sit with the long distance.
Also, hey, congrats on conference. I don't know if I've told you.
Thanks.
Champs.
The rings are pretty cool.
Yeah, we don't ever get those. We won for 5 years. Yeah, the school, we don't get conference rings.
No, they don't. I had to make them.
Oh, yeah.
So I made them.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
With a couple other,
It's only football where they have that kind of like through the school. Because like that is organized by mostly like football coaches with the guys. Was it Jostens or whatever?
Jostens. We went through a company called Signature.
Okay.
So the coaches do get emails
Oh,
from
really?
companies saying like, "Oh, congrats! Here's our company for
Yeah,
the
they just
rings.
choose.
Here's some art designs." So we went through Signature because one, it's obviously a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Jostens is the company that makes the Super Bowl rings.
Oh, yeah.
and
They make and Super Bowl. They make
Okay,
class rings. They make college, like all
the
everything.
NHL,
Yep.
Stanley Cup. They make the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Almost every major.
they're legit.
Yeah.
We went
Yeah.
through Signature because a lot of NAIA schools. Lindsey Wilson goes through them. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Vanderbilt goes through them.
Cool.
So I was like, all right, so we're gonna go.
They're
through
obviously a
these guys.
credit. Like they're legit.
They're pretty legit, and the coaches do get an email saying like, oh. But you can decide. Your team can decide if we want to make the rings. Well,
Yeah, no, we don't get to decide.
Yeah, so
It's great. It's cool.
So
Wouldn't have liked to have gotten that before we lost for the first time in 5 years, but it's cool.
So the coach, I was like, "Hey, can we get conference rings?" She's like,
Yeah.
"I've never done the past." I was like, "I'll make them." So she sent me 2 of those emails. I looked at Johnson's. And I was like, "It's like 500.
Yep.
It's legit." And then we go through Signature. Signature is cheaper and gives you more options. It's like, why don't we go through these guys?
Yeah.
So we're going through them, and the rings are legit. I mean, it's a black base, and once
Oh yeah, that's because freshman year I got a ring from football from conference, and yeah, I love graphite for a ring set. That's what my wedding band will be too.
Oh, congrats!
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you knew about this.
But they don't.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah, no, I love graphite rings. So is my class one from high school.
I was going to get a class ring. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, I'm either silver guy or graphite for sure when it comes to jewelry.
So, but yeah, all coaches do.
Mm-hmm.
The wrestling goes through them, but they rather have their national rings because obviously, 12-time champs.
Yeah, well, and that's what. So that ring that I got freshman year, that was the year that we got second, like we got runner up for nationals. So on the top, it literally says Nationals Championship, not champions, championship.
So ours
and then
says,
conference on the side.
Ours says conference champions with so all the seniors have won 3 conference champions.
Oh, okay.
So it has the 3 conference trophies in the ring with the GV in front. On the side it says our last name with the Heart of America logo, and the other side just has the bowling, just like as like getting a strike. On the bottom of the ring, so on the band of it says Vikings. Inside of the ring says 4-3 because that's when we won it. And then it's a black base with black diamonds with a red kind of accent with the red coloring. I don't know. It's legit. And then we have like the Vikings 4-3 as a gold accent, so it can really pop. Be like, oh, that's pretty sweet. So majority of the seniors got together and we made the rings. So just one person wasn't there because he was visiting grad school at the time.
Oh,
so
that's tough.
So I mean,
who was it?
It's Lucas.
Oh, okay. Cool,
yeah.
cool.
So he was visiting grad school at the time. He was coming back actually. So. So I was like, well, we kind of...
Yeah, he'll see it when he's here.
Yeah. So I sent out the voting. I was like, all right, so we can do a square base with black, square base with white, circle base with white, circle base with black with all red accents and stuff like that.
of stuff. Okay.
So we went to black with the red accent. So
nice. Very cool.
Online store is up.
Yeah.
They can decide if they want to get one or not. It takes 10 to 12 weeks to make, so we'll get in the summertime. So...
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
2 weeks online store. It's kind of like a normal online store.
Yeah, I wish. That would be cool.
Yeah. But just ask the football coach, like, hey, can I join for one day?
Let me just get one of those rings real quick. just because.
Just one day, please.
Just like cross out football and just put track.
And the five trophies.
Yes.
Trophies,
just
whatever.
around it. Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that you guys aren't getting the conference champs because like Grandview doesn't really like the conference because we're known for going to nationals, just competing in the championship match.
Well, that's the thing that's different with track is like it's as a team to like compete and like place at nationals is very hard. So like track and field with how much variability to win a conference meet is big, and like we had won it the last 4 years. So I mean, you'd like to have gotten something, but is what it is.
You got a photo and a shirt. Be happy.
No, we didn't get Yeah.
Be happy with that.
No, we actually didn't get shirts. You had to
order them.
No. So they do shirts at conference that like you can buy yourself. Like that the place just get like a Heart of America conference shirt. Like just saying track and field shirt. Yeah, we actually don't get anything for conference. The only thing that you can get is a medal if you place top 3. Other than that, it's just kind of like a Congrats.
Congrats, you did it. I'm going to show you the rings.
Okay, yeah.
But once I get the rings, I'll post on my personal social. But it's, oops, I guess I have to go to my photos. But no, it's one of the coolest things being part of is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the rings look like.
Oh.
Yeah.
That does look good. I like the gold on the side.
It really pops it.
Yeah.
But anyways, kind of moving on. We're on this for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What is your favorite activity on Grandview? Since you're part of the kinesiology officers,
yeah,
we're going to start an event in April because Lainey needs pictures. We got to have a meeting and talk about what events we want to do in April so we can get that done. It's pretty close to the end of the school year too. I mean, we can do something for finals week or something like that.
One thing that I really enjoyed that we did last year, we worked with our kinesiology club. We worked with this one. They do like the T-bombs and protein smoothie stuff, and they brought that over to our wellness center, which you brought up before, and student athletes could come over and get one. Just get either one of the T-bombs or the protein drinks for free, and that was covered by us. And I think that was something that was really nice to where it was something to where all of the student body, if they wanted to, could just have that, and then also gave that place a little bit of being like what they could give you as like a supplement type deal.
Mm-hmm. What sucks is they already did that this year.
Yes.
So I'm thinking about going through a company called the Big Acai.
Okay.
Over
doing bowls.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how much it costs because
Yeah, I know, because that's what's tough is especially acai. I mean,
it's good.
If you get like the acai with some yogurt and like berries and maybe granola, it's like $15.
So I want to try and see if they can come over here and just see if we can. But obviously we're gonna have to talk to them and talk through the meetings and stuff like that. And then Dr. Z wants us to figure out what freshman or sophomore that wants to be part of the club next year.
Okay, that's fair because we're gonna be having
everyone's gone. Yeah, everyone's gone.
Oh yeah, you're right. We all are.
Everyone's gone.
I forgot that we're all
because Izzy already graduated. Mm-hmm. Lainey's graduating this year with us, but she's going to grad school. I'm going to grad school, so I won't have time, especially with athletic training.
Yeah.
Owen's gone, and then Johnny is going to Texas, I think, for military training for his OCS.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I'll be going to Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everyone's going to be
I figured you should probably say that because you're going to chiropractic, right?
Yep. So that's I'm not leaving until November. I'll be going there for their fall semester, but yeah, it's the Palmer in Davenport, their Davenport campus.
Right,
they're central,
right down the road from St. Ambrose. So.
Yeah, yep. It's literally like a 5-minute drive from there.
And I don't know if you know this, but St. Ambrose is in our conference, so our football team will be going down there next year.
Yes.
So you can watch
watch that game.
Watch it 77-0, 77-7, maybe.
Hopefully, you never know. Maybe the team will turn around in a bad way, show up the same way. I mean, that's what's kind of nice about football is like really it can be any day, but yes, our team definitely sets up better than about anyone else does.
Yeah.
It'll be cool though bringing back that rivalry because there used to be a really big rivalry between Grandview and St. Ambrose, especially when it came to like track and field.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like in 2011 or so. It was like around the time when it was like really big.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we like pretty much moved out of conference with like everything with them.
They went to the Chicago conference, and then because that's when the Heart of America got formed.
Yep.
So they went to
and
Chicago.
now that they're coming over, it'll be nice getting to compete against them again in multiple sports, not just in track and field when we go to their like invites and stuff.
Except for bowling.
Yes. Yeah. You guys are weird.
Well, they declared as independent, so they can recruit overseas or out of country. Same with Mount Mercy. They're independent, so they can recruit overseas or out of country. So. So NAI kind of frowned upon that, that's a bad thing, but they're like, I don't care. Then it's declared independent, so they're independent now, so they can recruit.
Well, that's what's weird. Yeah, I know that Mount Mercy track and field. I mean, they get a bunch of athletes from all international. Yeah.
It's kind of like our volleyball team. I mean, we have a couple people from the U.S., but everyone else is Dominican Republic,
Chile,
Peru, Brazil.
Yep.
So it's everywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, it's it's gonna be a good thing that they're back in our conference and seeing
For sure.
Seeing that rivalry spark back up between sports. I mean, maybe not football, but and other sports.
We'll see. Yeah.
Because Ryan Sadler, his dad works over at St. Ambrose.
Yep.
And according to Ryan, they wanted to do the homecoming game against Grandview, and his dad said no. So they're not doing the homecoming against Grandview.
That's so funny. They're like, why would we do that?
And like literally, that's what he says. Like, why would we do that to ourselves? But how'd you get into shot put and why Grandview? Because you're from DCG.
Yep. I'm from Grimes, Iowa. Which I mean, if you don't know, it's literally 20 minutes northwest of here. Like, I mean, almost straight west, and then
just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's real close. So the reason why I chose Grandview, I mean, like I said, it's 20 minutes away. It's in the metro. It's a school that has, like, I always wanted to do kinesiology because I obviously am going to be chiropractic, which is just an extension of the field of kines. And at one point I thought I wanted to be an athletic trainer first. But then, I mean, just when it comes to like the length of school, it'd be really tough to do 5 years of school and then go do another 3 years of school for chiro. So I've elected just to stick with the 3 years here and then do my years at Palmer. But when it comes to the sports, I actually originally was coming here to do football and track. So I started...
Big dual athlete guy.
Yeah, right? Well, that's it. So I, in high school, thought I might just want to do football. But going into senior year of track and field, I mean, I had improved a lot because I was coming out of the COVID year. My junior year got cut short because of that. So I didn't get that year. And that's kind of when I was hoping to get to about where I was by the end of senior year. And where I was at the end of senior year still put me at a place where I was able to talk to colleges. And I had already communicated originally with Monner, who was the old coach here for track, and Hunter Donovan, who was our throws coach. And talking to them about coming here, they're like, if you want to do both, there will be a spot on this team for you. And it was a lot of just communication with them and the football coaches as I came here about doing that later on. But they were both very into the idea of it. And yeah, so I played football through the fall. And once I got into the spring season doing track, I mean, it was so much fun. Got along with the guys great and really enjoyed coach. And yeah, just really the atmosphere surrounding track was just something I really enjoyed. And that's also something I found out senior year of high school. And I thought it would be that did definitely carried over that feeling going into college, which I wouldn't know if it would or not originally. And I kind of made the decision at the end of that first track season to be like, okay, just for like where I'm at with school and where I'm at with sports, I think that I could put more into track and be able to improve myself and get to a high level than I thought I would with football. And I just made a decision that I'm going to stick to track and I'm going to do my best that I can in that. And I feel like that's kind of been something I've been able to really push and keep working with as I've developed. But yeah, so I mean, I've done track since 6th grade. That's when we were first able to do it through the school. But I know a lot of people who do like AAU stuff and start when they're like 5.
There's AAU track.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, like Justice, so I brought him up before. He's the one who does javelin at UNI. I mean, he's been doing javelin since he was a kid. Because they run like there's a professional runner. I think her name's Kiki Jones. But yeah, she's like an Olympian, and she actually is from Iowa, and she was a part of the same like AAU track team that he was. Like have you ever heard of Trip Apiri? He's a Olympian shot put guy through at Texas. That guy I brought up before, Zach Stacy, who was also a thrower of ours. I mean, he was also, they're both from Ohio. And when they were kids, they would throw against each other. Like I mean, a lot of the time the people who go a little bit farther are the ones who threw younger. But, I mean, you can really start at any level.
Yeah. I just still can't get over the fact that you were a junior when COVID happened.
Yeah.
I was a freshman, sophomore in college.
Yep. And we're graduating the same year.
Yep.
Hoo-ah.
I couldn't get it. I was just sitting there like,
Yeah.
Wow, I'm old.
Yeah, you know what's even crazier? This might be fun for people. My birthday is May 19th of 2003.
Jeez, I'm a 2000.
Yep. I'll be graduating college
13 days.
Yep, before I turn 21.
So when I'm officially done with schooling, I kind of did the math. I'm officially done. I'll be legally to drink after I'm done with school. 21 years of my life will be in school.
Yeah.
21, 22.
Yeah.
That's a lot of schooling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's it. By the time I'm done, yeah, I'll be, because, I mean, yeah, I'm graduating here right before I turn 21, but I mean, I'm going to be going for another 3 years. So, I mean, I'll be 24 by the time I'm done with school. But it'll be nice because that's what, I brought it up before, but my fiance, that's what she'll be working over in Davenport while I'm there. And then she's currently at Ames. So, I mean, she's doing engineering stuff. Smart.
And you're doing chiropractic.
Yep. Two very different fields, but
one's with the muscles and bones, and one's with
numbers
math,
and
building and math.
Yep. Very different.
So like they'd be like, "What's this?" You're like, I don't know.
No
but
clue.
if you need your back cracked, I got it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You pull a muscle, oh, I can help you with that, but no.
If one of your workers go down, I got you.
Yes, but if you ask me to tell that worker what to do, no clue. Yes.
So, what made you stay motivated to pursue shot put in a collegiate setting? Because you started at a young age, so you probably have that. You might have that senioritis or that senior burnout. Did you ever feel like a burnout for shot?
Nope. So the best way that I would put it is like, I mean, so you keep saying shot. I would say just kind of throws in general. It can seem like for certain events, yes, like I was ready to be done throwing the weight. If you don't know what the weight is, it's a 35-pound ball.
I have to explain all of it.
Oh,
like weight, discus, javelin.
Shot put is a 16-pound ball in college. In high school for men, it's a 12-pound ball, but in college, it's a 16-pound ball, and this is also for professional. And when you're indoor, it's rubber, and when you're outdoor, it's a metal ball.
Cannonball, practically.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what's a cannonball? The weight throw. So the weight throw is literally a 35-pound ball. It's also the same type of rubber as the shot put, but you keep it in this like mesh net, and you have a chain connected to it, and it's the hammer is the same concept, but yeah, you turn around and do spins in a ring and just try to throw it as far as you can. That one was not my favorite for sure.
So finish with shot put though.
Yeah. So like when you're talking about like being motivated.
No, like shot, like explaining shot. The
Oh,
hammer
like how to do it. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yes. So shot put, I mean, you like there's multiple ways to throw. Like for weight, you kind of just have to turn, and like that's the only way to throw it. Whereas shot put, there's multiple ways to throw. There's a shuffle where you literally just sideways and you kind of like do a little like hop and throw. There's a step through where you're set up in the middle of the ring. You step your left foot or whatever your non-dominant is to the back of the ring, and then you step it through and throw. And then there's a glide, which this is one of the most utilized types of throwing. And it's where you set up in the back and you push off your dominant foot and you land in a power position, which is just like in a solid stance, and you throw the ball. And then there's rotation, which is what I do. And it's where you rotate over your non-dominant and you get around and you land in that same power position and you throw. And they're just different ways to do the same means of getting to your power position and just having as much force behind the ball as possible.
Hammer is the same thing as
the weight. Yep.
Just with a longer chain.
And discus is the other one. And that's the same concept as shot put, but instead of being a ball, it's this flat disc that's 2 kilograms in college, and it's a bigger ring.
Is it actually a bigger ring?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. The ring itself, the weight, hammer, and shot ring are all the exact same, but the discus ring is bigger.
And then what about javelin?
I think it's like 400 grams or like 800. I can't remember how many grams it is, but it's a weighted spear basically that you have a runway, and you just have to basically launch the throw before you hit a line, and it's just who can throw the spear farther.
Because according to this stat, you threw javelin 114 feet.
Just so you know, that's not that good. That's only I think it was only 35 meters.
That is 34.8, so 35.
Yeah. So, for reference, what it would take to go to nationals, Justice, I think he threw 62 meters. The world record is 102. So when it comes to development and like performance, like that was me having thrown jab for like 2 weeks. And yeah, like Justice, he's been throwing it for much longer. And obviously those Olympians have been throwing it for a lot longer. But so to what you started with, the motivation side of it, and like not getting burnt out on these things, or like if I did, like kind of with weight.
Because they're all, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 different throwing categories.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And there's 2 for indoor and there's 4 for outdoor.
Oh.
Well, shot put is only 1 for both.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, you can throw weight or discus at some places indoor, like if they have a field house, but we don't anywhere. So yeah, I would say when it comes to the motivation side and like really sticking with it, it's a lot of just, I guess I'm just a very competitive person, and I like seeing improvement with what I do, and that's in sports, outside of sports, is something that I've learned to like appreciate the grind in that sense. And like when I'm working with the guys who help coach me through my throws and stuff, like when we're talking about it, seeing that improvement over time, that's something that kind of really drives me. And it makes it to where it's not really hard for me to stay motivated when I'm able to see the little things that I put in every day show up in what I do. And even some weeks, like there was 1 week this year for indoor that I threw like 0.3 meters, 0.4 meters under where my PR had been the week before. And I just knew that was just a down week. I was tired, and I was able to recover over the next week. And then that was conference where I threw a like 0.3 meter PR.
And that boosted you from third to first, just those 0.3. Yeah. Like, it's crazy how close it can get.
Well, I was actually, so this year in conference, I went in projected first. If we're talking from last year, so last year my PR was 15:35, and I had thrown that the week before, or a week or two before conference. And that was, I mean, at conference, I think I threw like 15:20, and that's what got me third. Last year for conference, the farthest throw was 1598 or 99 by Caleb Rutherford, who was here this year at Mount Mercy. But he won with that throw. And like this year, the top 3 throws were me at 1665, a guy at like 1612, and then Caleb at like 1590 or something like that. So I mean, like our whole conference across the board has gotten so much better. I mean, we even saw Caden, who we brought up before, Sussex. His PR going into conference was like 13.2 or 4 meters, and at conference he threw like a 1.5 meter PR and got like 5th or 6th. Like it's crazy how different it can be just for a single competition.
That's because it might be nationals. Like it was like 0.02, 0.03.
Are you talking about? Okay, I'll explain this.
Yeah.
So when it comes to throwing, one aspect that people don't realize is, so if you tie with someone, the next best throw is what they take. So at nationals, I got 7th. The guy who was in, so another thing, once every flight has gone, so like for us, there were 3 flights at nationals. Once everyone goes from those 3 flights, they will take the best 9 marks out of any flight total. You will get into what we call the final flight. Mm-hmm. And there was one guy who I know, who, speaking of St. Ambrose, Jonah Wilson, he threw 1631 meters, which it took a 1632 to get into finals. And there was a 2-way tie. So there were the guy who was in 8th and 9th, both their best throws were 1632. So Jonah missed out by 1 centimeter on making it into finals. And those two, one of the guys was in the head in the lead. He had thrown 1587 or 85 for his best throw, and so he was winning in 8th. And the only, like, I think it was the guy's first throw of finals, the guy who was in 9th, he threw 1587. So he beat him by, they tied their first throw, and then it goes to second throw, and he beat him by 2 centimeters. Jeez. So, I mean, across 2 throws, 2 centimeters was the only thing that separated them. But that guy moved now from 9th to 8th. And when it comes to nationals, even though there's 9 people who go to finals, only the top 8 actually, quote unquote, place. So that guy was 2 centimeters away across 2 throws from being an All-American. Like,
was he a sophomore or junior, senior?
Senior.
So,
Yep.
dang.
Last year, he was cool. I can't remember what school. I think it was like Shaughnessy State or something like that. He was a cool guy, but I felt bad for him. I mean, like I said, I mean, you think for how much distance everything is, how many meters you do, for it to come down to something so small, like it's crazy how close it can be.
That's probably why they go to the metric system of the centimeters, because a centimeter is obviously shorter than the inch, so it makes a lot more sense. You can throw like 16. What is it?
Well, I mean,
54 inches.
We do say that, but I mean, it's just kind of. I think it's just because it's a national or an international sport. Like for high school, we measured in the feet. It's the same thing like for high jump or any of those. Like in high school, you jump, you have like a 7-foot jumper, and like that's like a national level athlete. Whereas in college, you would say, oh, that's a 2.12 meter jumper. Like it's just different.
What is your favorite memory of shot put or track and field? It could be past, or it could be technically present on your day off today.
I think one of my favorite moments would have been indoor track and field last year. That was my first time that I like really placed and like actually had an impact on the team score for conference. I threw 15 meters even, and I think that got me like 6th. It was a very packed field for indoor last year. There were I think there were 6 of us who had thrown over 15, but Niles Seifkin, he won with a throw of like 15-32. Like, I mean, there were like 6 of us within what is basically just like a foot. And so, I mean, it can come down really small like that. But I would say getting that experience of really seeing my throwing paying off and actually like affecting the team, and that leading to us also winning the championship, like a conference, what I wouldn't have known was our last conference title.
You still have outdoor.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, like I would say, for one of my favorite experiences, it would be like actually having an impact on our team score that led to us winning, for sure.
How nervous were you the night before you threw? What was the most nervous? The night before conference or the night before you threw in nationals?
I would say this is just on experience. Well, one thing I will say, if I were to say another, this will go back to that last question. If I were to say a different experience for my like favorite moment, it would be at conference when I threw that 1665.
Because you had the clap.
Yes,
I watched that.
I've been. You could ask my parents about this because my dad got worried. I'm like one of the biggest advocates where I'm like, man, it's always when an athlete claps themselves in, that's when they have their worst throw. And I was like, you know what? This is my last throw I'm ever going to do in this building. I'm going to clap myself in. Start doing it.
What do you do? Like, how do you clap? Like, obviously, I watched the video, but like, I don't understand the reasoning.
I'm assuming I can't really clap into the mic, or it doesn't.
No, but you can like look at it.
So like when you start going, I mean, you don't want to do it too fast because then it'll mess up your rhythm, and that's kind of why I normally don't like I like having just noise, but the concept is it kind of gets a rhythm going, it gets it loud, and it kind of builds up to your throw.
So do you do it while you're walking up to the ring or while you're in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of like stand outside of the ring and start it, and then like get set and like walk into the ring. I did it once I got into the ring. I stood in the middle, started the clap slow, and then like did my normal warm up, like work into my throw. And then by the time I was actually initiating the throw, it was like everyone was clapping fast. But yeah, I would say that conference meet was the hypest. Like that throw specifically was like, I mean, the energy of the other teams, because that was one thing that was really nice was I made sure before we started throwing in our heat, I was like, we need to all be loud for each other. Doesn't matter what team, like just get each other hype, like get loud, throw far, and we did. Like it was one of the biggest fields that we've had in like 7 years for throws for shot, and that was really cool to be a part of. But yeah, I mean, I had my team lined up against the fence. Hunter, who's now at Ankeny Centennial, he came and was like coaching, or not coaching, but like he was there like hyping us up.
More support type thing.
I didn't mean coaching. Same with Niles. He was there and he was hyping us up.
Might ask him for advice and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like, this is what my coach is saying. But like,
for sure.
Yeah, like, what do you think I should do? Or like, hey, I know you did this. Like, what can I do? Like, how do I get
what you see? Yeah. So I mean that was.
Or like, what'd you do?
Yeah. What would you do? Yeah. No, it was that was definitely a really cool experience. And from conference or nationals, which was more like nervous, I would have to say, like I kind of started to say, I would say just based off of my experience, I would have to say nationals, because there's a difference with throwing in different types of rings. So just based off of where you're throwing at, there's 3 different types of rings that normally people will have. You'll either have a wood ring, a plastic ring, or a concrete ring.
Which one's your favorite?
I like wood because it's faster, so I can kind of like slow down my throw a little bit, like mentally, and it still be fast. Mm-hmm. Whereas concrete's naturally going to be slower because it's just how tacky it is on your feet. Mm-hmm. It'll slow you down.
Just go outside.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like that's literally outdoor. Like technically you will quote unquote throw a little bit slower naturally by throwing a concrete. And then plastic's really fast too. But conference was on wood, which I had been practicing on all that week at home, like here in our gym. Nationals, it's concrete. And we don't have a concrete ring here that isn't outdoor, and I didn't go practice on it. So when I got there, I spent the week basically just trying to get used to the ring, and I hadn't really been throwing that well. Like I'd barely been hitting like 15 and a half, but I do really well at competing.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. The day of, like, I'm able to kind of get in a headspace from like, okay, it's time to lock in. But for sure, that night before I was in there, I'm like, it's nut up or shut up. Like I will, like, for this being the one time I will ever compete nationally indoors for NAIA, like I have one shot at this, and you have three throws to have a chance at being all. Yeah, that's it. You have 3 throws to get a chance at being an All-American, and you have 6 total throws to be an All-American. And I was like, in those 3 throws, I have to make something happen to at least get me there. And guys competed great. There were 3 guys who moved up into the top 9 who weren't originally in there. And of course, that means that there were 3 who moved down. And my goal was just to be in those 3 who stayed, or in those however many who would end up staying. And I was able to do that, obviously. And that was so fun. But, oh, yeah, even I qualified for finals on my last throw, prelims. Because that's what I had thrown. I think I opened up with like 16-14.
Well, you can check right
Yeah,
here.
I think I opened up. It was like 16-14. Then my second throw wasn't that far, and then my last throw. I think I was sitting in like 11th. I was like 10th or 11th going into my last throw of prelims, and I ended up jumping up to 7th straight like from there.
Yeah, let's see right here. Mm-hmm. Oh, just kidding. No, but so going with that, mm-hmm. How important is sleep for you being nervous? Did you take any melatonin?
Nope. I think that honestly, I mean, if you take melatonin, like that's up to you. But for me, I mean, I try to minimize as much like extra stuff that I can put in my body. The only thing I like take stuff for would be I take creatine, I take extra electrolytes and salts and stuff. So like, I mean, I'll have a Gatorlyte, I'll have Pedialyte, I'll have just some like electrolytes from Walmart. Like for me, it's not as much about getting these crazy supplements or getting these extra things that are going to potentially change my sleep in a way that may alter how I perform. I'm more one who I would rather not take a bunch of different things and kind of know how my body is going to be leading up to whatever competition I'm doing. The only time I ever did have melatonin before I slept was last year. I was rooming with Niles before indoor conference, and he was like, "Hey, you want one of these?" And I look over, and it's like I think it's like Numi brand, but but like one of like it was like a Walmart or Hy-Vee brand melatonin gummy, and I was like, sure. So I had one. It didn't affect me at all. Like there was no change. So I'm like, whatever. But I mean, yeah, like I said before, if you are someone who does prefer to have melatonin or whatever because you think it helps you, Power to you. That's just not something for me.
I last night I was playing Rocket League with Paulie. It's been the first time since I played on the PS5.
Okay.
And we didn't go to bed till like 1. I'm sorry, Mom, if you're hearing this story.
Yeah, right.
I took
1 o'clock. Oh, no.
I took 4. I didn't wake up till noon.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't wake up till noon. I slept throughout the night. I woke up at 11:58, and I was freaking out. I was like, what time is it? I found my phone. I was like, uh-oh. This is the first time I missed class in a long
so when it
time.
comes to like sleep, though, I try to make like I do not sleep in, even if
I hate sleeping in, but like I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like legitimately, probably in the last year, the latest I've ever slept in is like maybe 9. Like I don't really do it. Like if I can, I'd rather be up at like 7 or 8.
Exactly.
6:30
most days.
Well, especially because we lift in the mornings, or we'll have practice in the mornings. And like right now, I'm running that was my foot. I'm running an internship with DCG for their strength conditioning program, and like I go there some days I leave here at like 6 in the morning. So I mean, I have to do that, but then also sometimes I don't get enough sleep. Like I do still sometimes catch myself going to sleep at like 11 to midnight, maybe in some cases past then. And then I'm like, okay, now I need to find a time to either work in maybe a nap or like something like that. But then it's also like you don't want to just sleep for like an hour or 2 in the middle of the day. Like it needs to be 30 minutes that you cut out, or 35, so you can get 20 minutes of good rest, maybe 25 minutes of good rest, and work in like maybe those 10 minutes where it's like I'm not really asleep yet.
Yeah. So I found your throws.
Oh, okay, from Nationals?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to go in order for your throws. Okay.
Yeah.
Your first throw was 16-19.
19, okay.
Second throw is foul.
Yep.
Third throw was 16-43.
Yeah, and that was one like
that's the mark they took.
Well, that was that was one of those to where going into that throw, I think that does it have? Is that the feed that has like the arrow that has like up 4, down 4? Like does that? No, okay.
And so it says 16-43, but I can look at other people's finals too. And then your first throw in finals was foul. Mm-hmm. Second throw in finals was foul.
Oh yeah. Well, no, they weren't fouls. I scratched them.
Oh,
that was
okay.
on purpose. They were just not farther than my PR, so I was like, they don't need to mark it, because those guys would have had to have tied me for it to have mattered, which they were going to either beat me or lose to me.
And then your last throw was 15-92.
Yeah.
So this is first place. You ready? Foul, 1751, 1693, 1666, 1678.
Yep.
In inches to feet, 57 feet and 5.5 inches, 56 feet, 4.5 inches, 55 feet, 7.5 inches, and then that's third place. Fourth place is 55 feet, 6.5 inches. So an inch split third and fourth. Like, it's not a lot, but like for team-wise, for point-wise, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, you'd think, yeah. No, that's what, I will be up there by outdoor. It'll be nice.
The person that finished ahead of you was 1660, 16, foul, 1665, foul.
Yep.
So he just barely beat you.
Mm-hmm. And it happens. Like, that's what, like I said, going into that meet, I did not know how I was going to perform. And my only goal going into that day was to be an All-American. And I did that. And, obviously, I wanted to PR. I wanted to throw farther. But sometimes you just have to compete. Like, at one point during my warm-up, I was like, well, literally going into that third throw, in my head, I'm like, why not? Like, I was sitting there and I was like, man, I might not be an All-American. Like, I came in ranked 6th, and I'm like, if I don't, like, I'm kind of like disappointed myself. But I'm like, why? Like, why not just go throw? Just do it. And I did. Because
there's one person that was that Way dude from Waldorf.
Yeah.
17-18, he was in second, and he was in flight 2 first throw. So, like, he was bottom of the barrel in flight 2 and still finished high.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because I think his PR coming in was like 16-12 or something.
Yeah, so props to him. I mean,
he
works for it.
He's really cool.
Everyone works for it. Everyone works for it in a different way.
Ooh, another big PR. I think Caleb, I brought him up before. He was from Mount Mercy. So at conference, he's one of those to where him and I are good buddies, and he's been struggling with shot put because he has not broken 16 meters. Like, he hadn't. He had not broken. Yeah, he had
I
not.
found it. He finished 14th, which is
Yes.
good.
So he had not broken 16 before, and he's really been struggling with injuries with his arm and a lot of other factors. And then in his last throw, he threw, so was it 16-14?
So he went 15-64, 16-14,
16-14, yeah.
14-90 was his last throw.
Well, his last throw, he just kind of got psyched up. But that second throw, I mean, yeah, that was a point 16 meter PR. Because I think coming in, he had thrown, I think 98 was his best throw for indoor ever. But yeah, so I mean, him coming out and dropping that, like, it was awesome for him. And I mean, you see any meet, almost every meet, you will see someone overperform who shouldn't like really have. And I mean, that's not saying he shouldn't, but like you'll see people move up multiple places, and you'll see some people like who I brought up before who may have been in that top 9 originally, who may not even get a mark. Like any day it can change for an athlete, and that's kind of where some of the fun and like variability comes within throwing. It's because every single meet will be different, and like every athlete's performance during a meet will be different.
Yeah. Next, we kind of talked about the training. What does your weightlifting / training look like when you're at Grandview and when you're at home? So in season and out of season.
Well, so like I said before, I'll be done this year, so that'll be different for like my training during the summer. But Reagan Weather and Peja, they do well to work with us to give us a program for even when we're away or on break or something. But during the school year, when we're in the fall and spring, we lift 2 days a week as a team, and it's not really expected that we lift on our own outside of it, but I mean, all of us throwers do, at least the guys I know for a fact. Us upperclassmen do. I don't know much about any of the women outside of our 2 that we do, but we lift on Monday and Wednesday as a team at 6:30 in the morning, and in the fall it was at 6. So I mean, that's it. Yeah, we do a lot of press work, explosive work, a lot of the strength stuff, just developing power as much as we can. And then, I mean, if we're talking like conditioning stuff, we've started doing it more, which is nice because a lot of people are not in shape. That's just kind of something that happens with it being mostly strength-based, stationary. Like, you move very fast and produce a lot of power in a short amount of time, but we don't need to go run 4 miles for a workout like our distance people do. Like, it's a different expected workload, because I mean, we need to develop a lot of fast twitch, very fast. Like you go and you have 5 seconds for a throw, but you have to do all this preparation to get that as fast as you can in such a small amount of time. So I mean, it's just different.
Yeah. What does your nutrition look like?
Well, I try to eat a lot.
The last time we recorded before it corrupted, you said you ate, like, I don't want to overestimate, but I don't want to under like 3 to 4.
Yeah, like I try to do like 3 to 4,000 calories a day. I think I get pretty close to that, but I mean, I almost with every meal I'll have at least 1 or 2 bowls of fruit. I'll have a bowl of cottage cheese, and let me put you guys on something if you've never tried this. It's cottage cheese with sesame seeds. Or no, not sesame, sunflower seeds. Sorry, not sesame seeds. Very different.
I was like, wow.
Very different. No, sunflower seeds and pepper.
I hate cottage cheese. So Ryan tried to put me on for like cottage cheese and pineapple.
That's weird. Okay,
Well,
don't listen to Ryan.
He was like,
don't listen to Ryan.
He was like,
if you don't know Ryan, yeah, he's. I don't know if he's been on.
Not yet.
Yeah, football and track.
Trying to convince him. He's like, I don't have a lot to talk to. I was like, dude, I asked the questions. You just talked.
Yeah,
about
you're like, all you have to do is respond.
But like, he's like, it's so good because he doesn't like cottage cheese either. But the pineapple is so overpowering, you don't taste it. I was like,
well, I mean, cottage cheese. A lot of cottage cheese is something to where like people literally blend it up, and if you use it with other flavors, you can make it a sauce.
That's what I do too. I blend it up so it has like the yogurt consistency, and then I put it in something.
Yeah. So. But yeah. So that's I try to do those 2, and then, try to get at least like one decent lean protein. Try to get some fats in, some nice carbs. I'll do wraps sometimes in our calf. I'm really kind of whatever we have in our calf. I just kind of have to make work.
Yeah.
So, I do pretty well. And then I have at least like 150 ounces of water a day.
Well, that's a little bit more than a gallon and a half, or
It's a little over
under.
a gallon. A gallon's 120.
Yeah, 128.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Yep.
Police major, but
Yeah,
it's
right.
128 for a gallon, and you'd say 150 roughly. So I mean, it's a little bit under than a gallon and a half.
Because for people who don't know, you try to get half of your body weight in ounces is about how much you should at least be drinking a day, which for me would be as a 248, I think is what I weighed in the other day, pound individual. Yeah, I need at least 120 ounces a day to like function well.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's some days where I may get more like 100 just because I'm drinking a little bit slower, and in that case it's like I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But to be where I want to be, like feeling wise and health wise, it's better for me to drink over that.
Because like when I see my nutritionist, he's like, you're because I used to drink 2 gallons. I was like, I got flavor fatigue with just water. So went down to a gallon and a half. I was like, I'm getting it. That's his worst. So we went down to a gallon. He's like, get this, get your workouts, and without workouts, you're gonna drink more. I was like, sounds good.
And that's where it's important too. For like, if you don't like the flavor of water, get things that'll flavor it.
Crystal Light stuff.
Yeah.
So like,
zero. That's so if you're like,
like 0 to 5.
It's not water. It's juice. It's like, it has 0 calories. You can't like.
Yeah.
It's juice. Juice is like adding sugar, and you add
flavors,
or just like even if you add literal like apple juice or orange juice, like that is its own thing. Adding flavor packets to water is still water. It's just you flavored it to change it up, which is not a bad thing.
So you don't get used to the taste or bored of the taste of water.
Well, and that's where it's important too to make sure like if you were drinking that much water, you need to be getting your salts. You need to be getting your electrolytes, because I think it's like I think it's like a 2-to-1 ratio for like ounces to grams or whatever of salts. But yeah, like pretty much the more you drink, the more you have to make sure you're doing that, especially like if you're working out, for how much you're going to be sweating, and like you have to keep that stuff going or else you are just going to crash.
Because there's a video of a major league pitcher. He was like, I was drinking all this water, but I was still cramping. And the doctor's like, literally just eat potato chips.
Yes.
He's like, why? He's like, because you're so low in salt. The Pedialytes, all this stuff doesn't work. Pickle juice, it's lower than salt than potato chips. Just eat potato chips. So they would eat the potato chips. And he's like, I threw a no-hitter today. So I was like, that's sweet. So like, the pickle juice and mustard actually helps too.
Yeah.
So like you see like high talented high school athletes, college athletes, and they're just sucking the mustard packets.
Well, I was
down.
about to say a well-known one is they call them pickle shots, and you'll literally have like cross runners or marathon runners right before they run, they'll take like 2 little scoops of pickle juice and just bam bam, or like a drink of pickle juice and then go. Yeah, which I think is ugh.
You don't like pickle juice?
Okay. Pickle juice is okay. I will have pickle juice. I don't want pickle juice.
So
like, I wouldn't be like, you know what I want today?
Pickle juice.
Suck down some pickle juice.
So when I tore my hamstring, they thought I was just cramping real bad, just kind of the pre-tear.
So did they make you?
So I ate 3 bananas. So the concession stands gave it to me for free because they're like, oh, he's cramping and all that stuff, and all that stuff. So they gave me 3 bananas and almost a water bottle filled of like 16.9 ounces stuff, like water bottle, just full of pickle juice, and I was still in pain. And then they're like,
wow, maybe this is an injury.
So then we sat me out for like 2 weeks, and I missed a lot of baseball. Came back, and then I fully tore it.
Really?
Yeah.
So it'd been just like partial tear, and then well, I bet part of it was sitting. Made it just be like, okay, now we're relaxed, and then as soon as you start going, boom.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I tore it rounding third base heading home.
Oh no!
I felt it pop, and it was loud enough where the catcher and the first base coach could hear it, and I army crawled back to first or third, and they called time, and I was just screaming in pain because of how much it hurt. Like there was a video that one of the parents took. And you can literally see my leg curl up because it was trying to compensate of the hamstring tearing. I tore it so bad that it was just hanging by the nerve ending.
Really?
Yeah. So like it was almost off. Just the nerve was just kind of keeping it together. So they couldn't like really do anything because like if he touched it, I mean, I could have lost feeling, but it was still been there. So I was like, Dang it.
Man.
So like I still go to PT
Yeah.
here at Grandview.
Yep.
Like
For that.
just to get all that scar tissue. This was 5 years ago.
Yep.
What was the hell? Oh, whoa, let me restate that. What was the hardest challenge you had to overcome in your personal life or in track and field?
I guess I've been very blessed with my situation in life and the people who I've been around, and I've worked very hard to use the gifts that have been given to me to try to like put myself in a situation to where I don't have to come from behind as much. But if I were to say any type of way that I've done that, it would be I would say through track, like especially getting to the collegiate level. When I first started, I mean, my first meet, I threw like 12.5 meters, I think. Like I was not that good. Like in high school, my farthest throw was 50 foot 9 and like 3/4 inches. And like that was like something that I thought I had like really worked hard to, and was something that I was really proud of, and I still am. I had made it to state, but like getting to where I am now, like there are so many hours that and so many like sticking points that as an athlete you have to have the mentality where you're not going to get stuck there. You're going like to continue and to build and to learn. And like for me, like I know that all of my gifts and stuff like that comes from God, and He's provided me with the opportunities to and the ability to push through these things. So like knowing that you can continue to persevere through like those sticking points, like that's definitely where it's been for me. Like where I have had to overcome those things was realizing that my limits that my mind or some other people may think that can be put on me are not there, because I've been given the ability to continue to work and to continue to train, which I know there's a lot of people who aren't, and like everyone has their own gifts and I mean, people have their different things that they're really good at and that they're gifted with, and I think one of mine has been the ability to persevere and work even when it may be kind of confusing or hard.
That was a good thing. What does mental health mean to you? Because you kind of brought up God and all that stuff. Do you follow His path? Do you think He has a plan for you everywhere you go?
So yeah, very much so. So I think it's important for everyone, especially for athletes, to know that they are worth so much, no matter what. Their ability in competition and the numbers that they put out do not make them who they are. We are all, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you have to think this, but this is what I think that our lives are. We are children of God who have been blessed all innately as human beings. And for many of us athletes, that is as athletes and people who are able to compete, the gift of being physically able, and for us to all be able to go out and compete and do it at a high level, I mean, it's an amazing thing. Mm-hmm. For a lot of people, it can be very hard because you get kind of stuck in a loop of, if I am not improving right now, then I'm taking a step back. But it's important to know that even when you may plateau, maybe that's just a new baseline being made for the next jump. And if we don't take the time to assess where we're at or to remember the people around us, it can get very lonely or isolating. And I think that's the biggest issue with sports right now is so often you'll see athletes allow themselves to get isolated and into their own space because they want to focus on themselves or move it away from being about more than just the numbers, and less about the work with the people they've gone there with, which in the end, I mean, sports are just fun. They're just, it's literally doing games for a living.
It's a child's game. Any sport.
Yes. Like you're literally getting to play for a living. And when people make it their lives and put the value of themselves in that over what they are, that's when I think the mental health side can very heavily impact individuals. So that's something that I've really worked to make sure that I don't let affect me past being something that I enjoy and something that positively affects me, as well as trying to make sure that those who are on my team or around me also know this for a fact.
Because we hosted an event in November called Movember about raising this awareness for mental health, men's mental health to be exact. What was your experience in doing that and trying to just advocate it for the entire month for it? Because we did the speech right away, November 1st. I mean, trying to do the event for the entire month, just raising awareness, teamed up with Peer Wellness, and they were doing a really good job with it. Every Wednesday they did Wellness Wednesday, and they shared out just statistical facts about it. So, like, what was your overall reaction to it, especially with the Grandview community, with the people coming around and watching us give the speech?
Yeah. I mean, it was so cool getting to see the community come together and appreciate what is being men in today's society. Because so often, I mean, you'll have people who want to say that, like, there's not value in being a man, or there's certain issues with everyone, whatever. But there is an innate value to being a man and to living a man's life. And especially with what we were able to do, it was very cool getting to not only tell people these things, but hear them really listen, and get to celebrate the fact that so many people do fight through so much every day, and that we are not weak. And even when you may feel like you are or something's wrong, you're not alone, and you never will be. And that's something that, at least for me, has really helped with, like, how I believe in God is, like, I know that I'm not alone at any time. But sometimes it's more than that for individuals who are in that place, and to get to share that with those who are here at Grandview, so cool. And we made clothing. We made some shirts.
Those I to this day, I think it's one of the most comfortable things.
Good stuff. I was really proud of that design. It was just nice, simple. I liked our Mind Matters saying.
You're the one that mainly was in charge of it, and then everyone just put in their words, and you're the one that actually designed it for us.
Yep. I was very appreciative that we were able to put that together and have those made.
Yeah, it was. Did you order anything on the online store?
I got a shirt, I think, off of the online, and then I grabbed one at the actual presentation itself.
Yeah, I got a sweatshirt and nighttime sweatshirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Dr. Z was like, "Is the online store open?" I was like, "No." It's only open, like, this was like in January. I was like, no.
Oh gosh, my gosh,
no.
You're like, it's not like it's a permanent store.
No,
that's funny. That's really funny.
It's done. It's gone.
There no more. Hey, technically, I think I still have the design if we really wanted to.
We can open it up again, but I don't know how popular it would get again.
Yeah, it would have to be in November.
Again, but I think we actually could do it again. Just open the store and just proceed. Just go to it. But it was good because just having Dr. Z
and Dr. Woods,
Owen talk about the event
for sure.
And all that. I think it was really special. It was really special. It was a special time for everyone.
Well, I think it's important too because we made sure, like, obviously as we're sitting here talking about men's mental health, we made sure that people realize it's not just about men's mental health. That month and that event specifically was, but I mean, everyone has their own battles, and I know right now, especially women's mental health is becoming more of an issue. Like, we're seeing the number go up for them as well. And even though we may want to think that it's like becoming less of an issue or people are talking about it more, so it's getting solved, people are still constantly struggling with it and having to figure that stuff out. So it's important to continue to talk about it, to continue to take away the stigma that it's something that can't be talked about and should be worked on together to get help for.
Yeah, it's there's plenty of resources around.
Yeah. Well, Grandview, if you're from Grandview, I mean, we have health councils in for student athletes.
Yeah, we got a health dog here. We got a therapy dog.
Yep.
Mom still got to talk to you over spring break about the dog.
The Diggy dog.
But we have that. We also have the app.
Yes,
Do you
that's kind of what I
guys-
was more
do you-
so.
Do
Yeah.
you guys have the app?
Yeah.
Do you guys use the app? I know bowlers, we don't.
I mean, we have it and people can. I personally don't really need to that much. I have other ways that I deal with my mental health and continue to stay up in that sense. I would say I'm also very blessed in the sense that I don't deal with as much mentally, like strenuous wise, as other people do, and I've very much so implemented ways that I have found best help me manage that, like manage my stress and anxiety and all those things. Whereas I know a lot of people may struggle with that still and need to find the ways best for them, but yeah, it's obviously not easy for anyone, but it's about figuring out what's best for you.
Yeah. Who is your biggest influencer?
Okay.
Could be anyone. It could be your fiance, your mom, your dad, your
gosh.
fiance's dad.
Oh gosh. I would say for me, it's definitely my dad.
Could be your track coach.
For me, it's definitely my dad. He's been one. I mean, I'm one of 3 boys, and he's one he's always kind of done what's best for all of us and put his head down. Like, he doesn't take anything for granted. Cares about us. Cares about what he does for a living. I mean, it's been nice seeing him show me what it means to put the work forward to see the future and like goals that you want. So often people can get caught up in like daily life, and I think it's important just to recognize the importance of what a father is and having at least that figure means to an individual. And for me, that's been something that I will always appreciate, and he's someone who I will always love and appreciate in that sense. For sure.
Going back to the mental health, what are some activities you do when you struggle? Because everyone struggles at times.
Yeah.
Could be doodling, could be going out throwing some shot, could be weightlifting, going for a run.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's one thing that I really appreciate about sport is that it's a place where you not only have to, but like you can only focus on your sport when you are competing or practicing. And that's something that I really enjoy about throwing. When I'm in the ring, the only thing that's in my head is throw. Like, even when I'm throwing, I'm not really thinking as much about like what I'm doing. It's just throw. And I would say for a lot of people, the same thing is when they're lifting. I use that as a time to kind of get away from thoughts, or if it needs to be a day where I can think about that more than anything else, it can be. But like some people will use that as like a way to take out their frustration. It's like sometimes that is okay, but do it in a healthy way that isn't like you taking your frustrations out on something and as much like using it as like a conduit to get out tension. Like, that's okay. But yeah, I would say through that, I play games, hang out with people. I read sometimes, do homework. Like, there are many ways that you can kind of step away from not what is real life, like what's going on, but to set focus on something else that may be more like better for you in that moment to be centered on. Which a lot of people, sometimes when you spiral and you focus only on the bad things, it's hard to get out of there. And it's important to hopefully have someone else around you or have some type of game plan set for yourself to help you recenter on what is important for you when you need to.
What does friendship mean to you? And how do you make friends? Without using your sport, how do you make friends?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing when it comes to making friends is finding people with similar interests, whether that's through school, through work, through mutual friends if you already have some. It's finding people who you have some type of connection to that you guys can continue to grow and build each other upon. Because a lot of times you'll see friendships where like people call them fake friends or whatever. I mean, it's people who are only in friendships for what they can gain out of it. And I think the best way to build a friendship is to do life together and to grow together. I think that if people are just kind of passive, it's like, okay, you're not really someone who is intentive with a friendship. You're just kind of in a partnership, basically. It's almost like a transaction.
A mutual agreement.
Yeah.
Like you
you're
you
cool.
like me, I like you, until we get this one argument, we're
Yeah,
done.
and then we're never gonna speak again. Exactly. Like that's what. Like I have friendships where, let's say, a buddy of mine, if they were to do something in a relationship, and like let's say a friend of mine cheats, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with that type of thing, but like I know that that's a person who I care about, and I want to get them past that. And like there's moments where we have to know when it's someone who we have been doing life with, and you know that you can trust them, or you can have this type of relationship with them that is past just like the surface level stuff. Because like I said before, there's so often where you meet people, it's all surface level stuff, it's interactive, and there's nothing wrong with these people. Like sometimes those can still be fun people to interact with or fun relationships, but it's not the same thing as having people you truly can depend upon, which I think is where you find true friendship.
Kind of wrapping up, we're going to the fun question, quote unquote fun questions.
Oh,
what does
gosh.
your playlist look like?
Oh,
'Cause
man.
This one might surprise you. Johnny,
Okay.
he was like, I listen to brown music. I was like, what is brown music?
What?
He was like, you just have to look it up. He's like, go to Apple
Is he
Music.
talking about like brown noise?
Yes.
Like the...
I don't know.
Because I listen to like when I go to sleep sometimes, I'll listen to pink noise and blue noise and green noise.
What is that?
So blue noise is like rain. Green noise is like rustling leaves and wind blowing through grass. And pink noise is like air.
Huh?
Yeah. So it's basically just like soothing things. It's another thing too, if we're talking about like mental health and mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important for people to know that the importance of like, people say like meditation, but even just like taking time to set your phone to the side, to set electronics to the side, to not be overstimulated by so many things that are around us at all times, and just let yourself be. Like, there's so much beauty in the world around us, and so often we can get caught up in that type of stuff and not let that be like appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like at night, it'll be nice just to have a little like,
It listens to this on car rides, and sometimes when he weightlifts, I was
okay.
like,
Okay, that's weird.
was like,
it's not weird. Sorry, Johnny.
really good friend, but like, I'm like,
who was it? Did you say it was
Johnny?
Johnny. Okay, yeah,
a really good friend, but I'm like, huh?
You're like, interesting.
Interesting, good talk.
Yeah.
I was like, I was fearing like Kansas City Chiefs, we might say like Taylor Swift or something like that, just like
Yeah.
stereotype. No, it was brown noise. I guess his girlfriend won't let him listen to music. Like, it has
Interesting.
aux.
So I'll put it like this. So here, let me go through some of my albums that I have. I have.
Do you have a certain genre you like certain era?
Oh, not by like years. Like I said, I'll take you through some of my like albums that I have. So I have a metal playlist, and that's like that can be any type really. But like some examples of like metal bands I like Sabaton.
Just don't play them.
I'm not.
Okay.
I like Sabaton, Dragon Force. Like they're the ones who do Through the Fire and the Flames.
Yeah.
I mean, I like lo-fi music. Just give me some songs with like a nice little jazz beat over it. I also like some more like indie stuff, or
Going back to the jazz band. I remember you saying that you did show choir.
oh gosh, I did. So in high school, I actually did show choir, jazz choir, and chamber choir. And I was our chamber choir president, and I was a bass section leader in show choir. And yeah, no, I was very much so involved in all that. But
So
then
with that type of classical music, I did band and choir, so like I can
yeah.
handle those like jazzy and all that
well,
stuff.
speaking of me being in those, I also did musicals and plays and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Another big playlist I have that has over 600 songs. Like 600 songs. 23 hours of music in it is my musical playlist. And then, I mean, I have training music. I have an entire playlist just for choral music. But I've always been a big 80s, 90s. I realistically will listen to whatever and probably vibe with it.
The only music I won't listen to is screamo. I will not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that EDM is kind of tough for me too. Like it's not my thing.
I can listen to EDM. I can get into that.
Like I said, I could listen to it, but like I'm never gonna be like, you know what I want to listen to right now is this.
A little bit of EDM, and EDM is electronical.
Yeah, for those
music.
Who don't know.
It is. It's just mainly music, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just electronic music, and it's cool. It has a cool beat if you're into raves or in just like dancing.
It's kind of the most of it's just about moving and being through music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was your best moment of 2023? It can be
easy, engaged.
I was about to say it can be part of the question. It could be one more year left of school or finishing one more semester. So
no, that is for sure nice. But yeah, I would say my best moment from last year would have been we went to Colorado, and we've gone there the last few years of us dating with her family, and we've always gone on the same walk up around a lake there. It's in Breckenridge, and they have the timeshare at this place, and we go up on the same walk, and we had gone to Taylor Swift on the Friday night before.
Big Swift A&Rs, yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it was such a cool concert. Easily, like, I've been to a few concerts. It was the craziest, best performance I've ever seen. So, like, she did so well performing. But then that was on Friday. No, we went up on Friday. That was Saturday night. The Sunday, the next day, we drove out, and then we got into the mountain because that was in Denver. That was at Mile High. So then Sunday, we actually get to the mountains up in Breckenridge, and it was Monday morning. We were like, oh, let's go on a walk, and we were going to start a Devo series, and we go to the same spot that we always do. Like, it's this little pier, like it's a little like a deck basically over the water. And yeah, that's where I did it. And then it was so fun.
Did you wake up early to go out and set cameras out?
Nope. We purposely did not get any photos taken of the engagement. Like, if you were to look at my Instagram, we have engagement photos, but that was later that day with her parents and brothers and stuff.
So the parents and brothers knew, but
oh yeah, yep. Okay. She had no clue. She thought it might genuinely happen on that trip, but I had set this up for a while. So I had the ring in April. I proposed August.
Does she know the story? Is this the first time?
She knows. Okay. It was like August 17th, I think, is when I proposed. But April 30th is when I ordered the ring, and then got it. Whatever. Obviously, I got a ring. It was a lot of money, so like. I was like, I'm broke. I don't have money for a ring. And she was like, I understand. Like, she's like, oh no, I get it. I'm like, yeah, I just can't do it right now. And pretty much I also was like, I haven't talked to your dad. Like, obviously I asked for his blessing, but also like I knew he was going to say yes, but like I had asked in like early June, and she still didn't think I had done it yet. Like, I was like, no, I don't know when I'm going to do it. Like, I was acting like I was all nervous. But yeah, I had done it in June.
And you got the ring in April.
Yeah, I got the ring in April. It arrived like early May because I said it was like, or it was April 20th is when I put in the order.
So did you have it shipped to your house or to your parents' house?
To my parents' house is 20 minutes away in Grimes. Okay. So like I just went back there, got it, and had it sitting on my desk here at campus. And then obviously I went back home for the summer, and yeah, I mean, took it up there. It was so cool. But yeah, no, that experience is, I mean, obviously once in a lifetime, will be, period. Yeah.
So ask for the blessing in June. She's still asking, still curious.
Yeah.
And
because we're young. Obviously we know this. And it was one of those where like, she knew that we were wanting to have it done like within this year, like an engagement, hopefully wedding. And yeah, she was like, is it going to happen soon? I was like, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm bro. You see my bank account?
Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's literally what I do. I'd be like, oh, I don't got money. I don't got money for a ring right now.
I'm a college student.
Yeah, exactly. And little did she know I had it for a while. Yeah.
Was it pretty hard hiding it from her? Or just like
no, I'm really good.
Pretending to be dumb.
No, I'm so good at it, dude. I am board games, like party games have prepared me so well for it. Like I'm so good at. The best way to put this, I'm really good at manipulating for the right reasons, at, like lying for the right reasons. Like,
You're like, oh, I don't get it.
I generally did not have a ring. Nope. Yeah, I could have convinced myself.
Just be like, nope. Nope.
Yeah,
Not just,
shoot.
Just pull your pockets up like nothing.
Yeah.
See?
So the way I actually hit it, because I mean, like I said, we went up on this little hike. I didn't like bring a backpack. Like this is like only like a 15-minute hike up to the lake, 15-minute back. So I didn't bring like a backpack, neither did she. And I did that on purpose because we have in the past. What I brought was I have this little like, like a fanny pack. Well, it's like one of those ones that go like over the shoulder, and it's like just smaller. So what I did was I put a water bottle inside, and I'd put my Bible, because like I said, we were doing a Devo. I'd put my Bible in there in the front, and when I had done that, I actually had her like basically like looking in there with me while I did it, so she didn't even think about it. And then when she like looked away, then I put the ring in there, but I put it like in the front pouch below like fruit snacks. So like I opened it up, and like there were 2 fruit snacks. So I took the top one out while she was looking. There's one still sitting there. So it looked like it was just like fruit snacks and a granola bar in there. Closed that up, grabbed my Bible, and then she like looked out, and she had this little camera. And it was like one of those, it was like literally her dad had gotten it when we were kids. So she has this camera is like taking a picture out. She's like, man, look at the sunrise. Like, oh, it's so cool. And then she turns around, and I'm literally just sitting there.
Like bleaching around.
Yeah, she goes, no, literally this, like, I won't say the cuss word, but she turns around and goes, look at this. And goes, look at, and then looks up and goes, no way. And I'm like, haha. Yeah.
I got you.
Yep. And then of course, yeah, we get back, and she's like, so her parents almost sold. Yeah. So we wake up, and we're going on this walk at like 6:30. Her parents, or maybe like 6. Her parents didn't wake up until, or like didn't have work till like 9. Like on, like they were doing work from the room, and they didn't work till like 9. But she had her parents had both woken up just happenstancely at like 6 with us, and we're like, oh, have a nice walk. Hope nothing crazy goes down. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, go to bed, go back to bed. I'm like, go back to your room. And she kind of was like, man, that was kind of weird. I'm like, yeah. It was kind of weird. Like, wow.
Maybe just don't want any flooding.
Yeah, I'm like maybe they just had early work, maybe actually. But no, it was all really cool. So I definitely say for last year, yeah, that would be the coolest experience that I had.
That's awesome. Now leading in, what's your goal of 2024 of this year?
Well, August 3rd is our wedding date. So my biggest goals for at least like the rest of this school year my goal within shot would be to throw over 17 meters. Hopefully that could get me within the top 5 for nationals. And I also want to qualify for the Drake relays, which I never was able to do in high school or so far in college. Like to have my last outdoor season, be able to qualify for that would be really cool. I just need to throw 16.9 meters for that. I think that's what the college standard is to get in. And then obviously graduate. I mean, I'm not too worried about that one, but just to be done with my undergrad is going to be really nice. And then, yeah, obviously the wedding in the summer. And then November, I'm going to Palmer. And, yeah, I hope that'll go smoothly and nicely when I transition over to that.
What are some closing? What's your favorite Bible verse or your favorite quote? I know the last time we had this recording, I was like, hey, start thinking of this.
Yeah, I do have one that I had pulled up. I mean, it is like one of some of the most well known scripture. I mean, it's Psalm 28. My specific, which is, if you don't know, the Lord is my strength and my shield. And the specific part that I really hold on to is 6-7, which is, blessed be the Lord, for he has heard the voice of my pleas for mercy. The Lord is my strength and my shield. In him my heart trusts, and I am helped. My heart exults, and with my song I give thanks to him. And to me, when it talks about with my song, that's not just like me literally saying, when I sing my song to the Lord, like that's when I exalt it. Like, no, it's in my work, in my word, in my actions. Through that is how I give back to him through like in that type of means. Because like I've said before, I know that I am protected by him, through him, and that like the many things that I see in my life are not really through my actions, but through things that have been provided for me by him.
Okay.
And yeah, so I would say that's definitely the Bible verse that I have really attached to when it comes to like schooling and just daily life on how I feel.
Because I'm stuck between two Bible verses for my tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
That's it. You know, I have. So if for those listening, I have a tattoo. I got my first tattoo at the start of this semester, and it's on my left calf.
It's the 3 crosses.
Yes,
That's very well known. So
yeah. So for those who may not, when Christ was crucified, which was a horrible, horrible event, when he was actually up on the cross, there were two other men up there with him, and the man on his left basically said, if you if you're God, just let us down. Like, just get us down from here. Like what's the point of like being up here? Like, if you're God, just get us down. And the guy on his right, even though he was a sinner, he was obviously a criminal. He still sat there and said, "Hey, dummy, like, if this is God, what are we? Like this, like you." He basically said to Jesus, "I believe that you are God. I believe that you are him. And that on this day, like, I still say that you are the way, and I believe that." And in that, Christ said, I can tell you will be in the kingdom of heaven. Mm-hmm. And that's why I got the tattoo, is because it's important for us to remember, even when we think we are doing well, we are still sinners. Everyone is. No one's perfect. And I feel like many of us, at least those who do follow Christ, can say that you are represented by the man on the right, who said, even though we have sinned, he is God, and through him is the only way to the kingdom.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So the way I represented that through the tattoo is the cross on the left of, so like obviously the crosses are facing out, so the cross on Christ's left, which would be the right cross, is faded out, and the one on the left is slightly faded, and then of course Christ crossed is bold, because that's the only one that is perfect.
Mm-hmm. So I'm stuck between two. Maybe you can help me. I'll have a little pull out. Okay. So I'm stuck between 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6 through 7. That is, cast upon your anxiety upon my hand. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the short version.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
The other one's Isaiah 40:10. And mainly it says, so do not fear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have it, and it's going to be a representation with my family. Mm-hmm. So cast upon anxiety onto your hand. So any type of anxiety I have or anything like that, cast it upon my grandparents and stuff like that as past, or any family members, and then they will help me, guide me through the way. Or Isaiah 40 of do not fear. If I'm ever fearing something, they will guide me to the right direction. So that's why I have my first tattoo is a cross with wings. So I'm stuck between those two.
Yeah.
It's going to be a work into my tattoo I'm going to have on my forearm. I'm getting a forearm piece in June 1st.
Are you going like quarter sleeve, like the whole sleeve?
I'm going to do a whole sleeve eventually, but I'm doing the forearm first, and then next summer doing my elbow piece, and the next summer is just...
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what was your reasoning again for the Peter?
1 Peter?
Yeah.
Cast your anxiety upon me. So like if I'm ever anxious or anything, worried or anything like that, I can cast it upon them, and then they can guide me to the right direction. I shouldn't be so worried about something. Just take things one day at a time.
Yeah, I would say that one, because I mean, yes, I mean it's almost the same sentiment for both for sure. I guess that's tough. I like the way that the 1 Peter is worded, but also what was the second one?
Isaiah
40, yeah.
41.
He like that one. That one's nice and simple for a tattoo.
Yeah,
like that'd be.
It's a popular one.
That's what I mean. I think that would just be more so for what you're looking for. But I mean, when it comes to concept, very similar.
Yeah. Last thing, where can they find you? Any social media?
Okay.
Are you a coach somewhere? Are you an ambassador at some place I didn't know about until today?
Yeah. No, that's it. So I would say, so like we've said before, my name is Blake Willey. Obviously I throw here at Grandview. In the future, I plan on being a coach in general, whether that's for throws or football or something. On Instagram, my Instagram handle is Blakey James. That's BLAKIE James, no capitals. And then I'm one of our guys who run our GVU men's throws, and we post fun content as well as our competition information and like results from this year, like as we go. I'm also on Twitter. I mean, I don't post too many of my own stuff other than my throws and results and stuff, but that's more in depth than I would on Instagram. And that's at Blake Willey 2, and that's just capital B, capital W. And for spelling of Willey, it's Willey. Other than that, no, I don't have too much else, but yeah, it's been nice again to talk and
The second time.
Yes, to completely finish what we were saying.
Because the first time we were like 40 minutes in.
Yeah, and we had actually had Paulie, who you were able to record the next time with him. Yeah, we had all actually been in here together, which was really fun. It was a nice conversation.
It was 40 minutes. We were like halfway through, or not even halfway, like a quarter through. I was like,
Yeah, we were in the middle of actually me talking about lifting, and for Reagan Weather saying, like kind of making fun of us for lifting outside of what he does.
Yeah.
So it was going well, but
and then
got cut short.
Everything corrupted. No audio. No.
We came back for a little bit. We got like it started.
Seconds,
Yep, and then it was nope, not gonna work.
No.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks before we head off? Any closing statements you like?
I mean, for those who do feel like you may be struggling mentally, really just take the time to look for the people in your life who you can rely on, and if you don't feel like you do, seek help. Look for the people who may, and try to figure out where your next steps can be. For those who are competing or like are in college sports, I hope everything's going well. And even if you're not there yet, or like you want to be, or you're a previous, like be appreciative of the time that you've had or that you will get, hopefully, and don't take it for granted, because as someone who's graduating obviously early from sports and being done, I mean, it is an amazing ride and something that I'll never regret, but also is something that you should really appreciate, and just never look back on in a sense of dread or resentment, but of knowing that you enjoyed it, hopefully. And
just step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for listening, and as always, stay healthy.